So today I have Chris Robbins, Chief Customer Officer of WINDMobile with me. So Chris, well, let me ask you a couple of questions. iPhones, when are you guys going to have iPhones available?
Well, we were just saying in the news conference, so the thing with the iPhone, it's GSM, it works on GSM, which is why Rogers, Bell, TELUS, everybody else has it here. We are a GSM operator. Unfortunately, we're the newest GSM spectrum. It's called AWS. So there isn't a lot of AWS operators out there. There needs to be enough volume to make it worth Apple's while to manufacture the phone for AWS. So the big turning point for that will be when T-Mobile in the States, who's also an AWS operator, asks for the iPhone. We're expecting that sometime in 2010, and then we'll just essentially piggyback on that is what I'm hoping for.
Any time frame? First half of 2010?
It's definitely not the first half. It's probably more like the second half of 2010.
Oh, second half. Okay.
That would be what we'd be targeting, but again, it's up to Apple to do that. So.
Yeah, my contract with Bell is expiring, so I'm looking forward to trying to.
I love the iPhone. I've watched it before, so it's a good product.
So you guys have a 5 gigabyte limitation on data, right? So I guess as a tech users, they worry about when that 5 gig hit them. When, let's say, let me give you this scenario. When the network is quiet, nothing on it, you guys want to cap it or
no?
Like,
no.
Okay.
So this is I forget where we got this question asked, but the technology we're using to actually manage the network traffic, we can actually do it at a subscriber level. So it gives us the maximum amount of customer focus in how we actually shape the network.
Subscriber level meaning on an individual basis, right? So cap it.
So if the network's empty, if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I kind of rationalize it like a traffic jam.
Yeah, right,
Traffic
exactly.
jam, we'll manage it, we'll control it. If there's no traffic jam and it's 2 o'clock in the morning and it's good to go, then we just open it up.
So those users, like even though they hit the 5 gig, if it's like 2 in the morning, nothing on it, or it's network is quiet in the daytime and whatnot, they'll still get the maximum full speed and whatnot. Good.
It's very cool.
So now maybe a little bit more tricky scenario. Let's say if the network is a bit busy, so how are you guys going to decrease the traffic? Like if you drop it to 10%, then it's like useless, right?
What we would be doing is actually dropping the speed of it. So depending on how much we have to drop the speed, to manage the throughput essentially. So again, it all depends on the scenario. The maximum we'd be able to drop it to is 128. So that is about
128
kilobytes. So it would be about, like you said, about a tenth of it. That would be in the extreme. We'd be managing it between the fully open and that level, depending on how much traffic is.
Right. Okay. So it's really flexible. It could be like 90%, 80, and just slowly throttling. It's not like when you hit that limit and then the network is busy, you drop to 50% as a start, and then.
Now the good news with us is we have an empty network. So with an empty network, I don't think we'll have to worry too much about traffic control for the first little while.
Well, let's hope you guys are not empty for a long run. Otherwise, it will be bad for both customers and you guys. So iPhone plans, if and when it comes out, would be similar to the pricing structure that you have for BlackBerry.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We haven't started any kind of pricing plans for iPhones, but our philosophy is always to keep it simple and to make it unlimited, essentially, so the customers don't have to worry about the value and how much they're using and all the rest of the stuff. So the plans would be similar leasing structure. The actual price points, I couldn't tell you.
Right. See, now a question on the community. So you guys have been using blogs and comments, whatnot, very actively. Recently, I mean, I guess since you guys launched, there are a lot of, a lot more negative comments. Well, mind you, negative comments can be constructive, but I've seen like some negative comments that are not constructive, and there are some actually comments that are just completely useless. I've seen in the blog that says first, second, third, like they are posting the first comment, and that is taking up space. So have you guys thought of how you guys going to involve the community, the blog, your blog, the comments and whatnot?
No, for sure. So when we designed our online community approach, it really was about that conversation. So we were very clear. We didn't want it to just be people posting one way. We wanted to be able to communicate back. Right. So I've got an entire digital team that have been doing the communication up until now. When we launched on Wednesday, and we're launching here now, we got completely overloaded. So we've now built, literally as of yesterday, we've built a team in the call center to actually be engaging online as well, not only in our online space, but on blogs and forums, to be able to interact with our customers, asking questions and posting comments.
Right.
So I'm guessing it's going to take us the next 2 to 3 days to catch up on some of those comments. But at the end of the day, the whole conversation with customers is ongoing. Like, this is the start. So we actually do want the negative comments. You know what? People come and tell us we're all great. That's super. That means I don't have to change anything. Right? What I actually do want is, what are the weaknesses? Where would we miss something? Where doesn't it work? Let us know that so we can fix it. I'm looking forward to it. Those are the best kinds.
Right. So Yeah, tell me about what you do as the chief service officer.
So my teams are sales. So this environment, and then when we're moving into third-party retailers, so I'll be talking with some of the big box retailers as well. Probably early in the new year, we'll be launching with some of those. So anything to do with sales, marketing, branding communications, online, and strategy is essentially anything that touches the customer, which is why it's Chief Customer Officer. Right. So anything that touches the customer is somebody on my team's responsible for.
Good. So when we are unhappy, then customers can talk to you or leave comments to you, and you and your team will look after those comments.
Exactly. I actually respond personally, which is killing me. So I have to figure out a way to do this. But I've gotten, even since we launched on Wednesday in Toronto, I've gotten about 400, 500 emails within about half a day from customers and people asking questions. And so you can absolutely call me or email me.
All right, great. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Very cool.